What's up, guys? It is Chris back with another watch video. Today we are looking at Bulova. This is the A-15, a watch I'm very excited to review. I did a video about this watch when it was first released. I did not have one hands-on, but obviously, as you can see, today I do. This is a re-release of a 1944 watch, so this is heavily inspired by that watch from 1944. That watch had dual crowns. It was based on the A-11, so the small Bulova hack that was created back then. It got two inner rotating bezels, one with a crown at 2 o'clock. That crown operates the elapsed time, and then a second which operates a second time zone, and that is the inner rotating bezel. So two crowns that operate the bezels on the interior of the dial, and then of course your traditional crown here. On this one, the crown is signed. The original watch was 32 millimeters. This is 42 millimeters, so it is a larger watch than the original, obviously, for modern times. 14 millimeters thick. You get a Miyota movement in this one. That is the 82S6. However, this 8 series Miyota movement does hack and it does hand wind. So this will hand wind, and when you pull out that crown, it will hack. The dial itself looks a little bit busy. However, in my opinion, it looks really spot on for that military flavor that you're looking for. The inner rotating bezels don't add a lot of clutter to the dial. It is that little inner area of the dial where you have the 24-hour markers. A lot of military watches obviously have that because it is very functional and it definitely looks good. And if you're into a military watch, this has a very, very good military aesthetic to it. Now, the watch is brushed and polished, so the bezel is completely polished. You have a very nice, high raised, boxed, double domed sapphire crystal. Like I said, signed crown. None of the crowns screw in. 30 meters water resistance. The case back is actually very nice on here. It is a screwed in case back and it is completely polished. So it looks really good, and it is also inspired by that original watch. The case profile, you can see, is completely brushed in one direction, and the lugs do turn down sharply. The strap on this, the strap is also very inspired by those World War II pilots. Now, this watch actually never made it into service. It was being tested by the US Air Force. 500 copies or examples of this watch, of the original watch, were made, but it never actually made it into production for one reason or another. So Bulova went back, took those archives, and created this watch. This is not the first iteration of this watch. I believe they made another A-15, which was Swiss made, so that had a Swiss movement. This, as I mentioned, has a Miyota movement, so it is a little bit cheaper. I think right now this watch is around $550, between $550 and $600 on the actual Bulova website. Originally, I think these came out with a little bit higher of a price point, and they brought the prices a little bit down. So really quickly, I will throw it on my wrist. Before I do, let me show you what I'm wearing today. Today, I'm wearing another iconic watch. This is the Eterna Kontiki. This is the diver in full stainless steel. A very cool watch that I just recently purchased. And if you are a fan of the channel or you've been following the channel, you will know that I have purchased a few Eternas in the past few months, and this is another acquisition. I really do love Eterna. So, as I mentioned, this is 42 millimeters. It is on a very vintage-inspired leather strap. It's a brown leather strap, very soft, very easy to put on. The buckle on here is signed Bulova, as you can see. It's a very generic buckle, I will say. Nothing too crazy, nothing too special. Very functional. It is a Tang buckle, obviously, but it's nothing out of the ordinary, and I think Bulova could do a little bit better with this buckle. However, nothing that is a game changer or a deal breaker on this watch. I have to say, I was super excited to get this watch in for review, and I am super excited to wear this watch, and I have been wearing it over a few weeks. And I think I want to buy one. I really do love this watch, and I will be very, very sad to see it go. The dual crown setup that you have for these rotating crown, the rotating inner bezels, is really unique. It's something that obviously is unique right now for Bulova, but there aren't a lot of watches on the market with dual rotating inner bezels. And you get that second time zone, plus you have that elapsed time indicator with that outer ring. It's very interesting. And it works really well. It's actually two functions that you could use on a daily basis that really does work very well. And the movement, I like that it hacks and hand winds. Usually the 8S does not, and I think they've upgraded this to add that hacking. I think the 8S always hand winded, however, it did not hack, and this does hack, which is a nice added feature to the watch. Now I'm going to tell you, there are a few things I don't like about the watch. Like I said, the 14 millimeters is a little bit thick. However, you get used to it. It's not terrible. This could have worked as a 40 millimeter watch or even a 38 millimeter watch. And as you can see on my wrist, I have a 7.5 inch wrist. It does sit pretty well on my wrist. It could have been a little bit smaller. I don't mind it though. And then that buckle. I don't know why Bulova don't make a little bit more of a special buckle for something like this, even if it's just a milled piece of metal. This is more of a generic piece of metal, and I think they could do a little bit better. Even the actual tang to the buckle, of this little buckle keeper or whatever it's called, it's just very generic. I do like the strap a lot. I think it's very soft, genuine leather, it says there, and it's signed Bulova. And I really like the case back. I like that they put the screws in there, and it's a very high polished mirror finish, as you can see. It reflects everything. And the crown, like I said, I like that it's signed Bulova. Generally, I think this is a very good looking watch, functional watch, and historic watch, which is cool. So really quickly, I'll do a quick lume shot. I'm sure the lume is not great on this. It is a pilot's watch, so it doesn't get a ton of lume, but it does have lume, so we'll show you that. I think it's only on the hands. Those indices might be lumed. I don't think any of the outer rings are lumed. The really nice box sapphire crystal doesn't really distort anything when you're looking at it. It's double domed, so it's very clear, and you have a pretty good AR coating on that sapphire crystal as well. So really quickly, as I said, I will do a very quick lume shot, and then we will wrap up the video. So there you have it. You can see there is lume on the indices and hands. It's actually pretty bright. I'm kind of surprised. It looks pretty good. And this is a twilight situation. I really like this watch. I definitely recommend for anybody who's looking for an interesting pilot's watch at a pretty decent price from a brand with a lot of heritage, a lot of history. They are up there with brands like IWC, who make incredible pilot's watches. Bulova have an amazing American history of watchmaking. They tried to get onto the moon. They did a lot of different interesting things with their watches, and some of their watches made it to the moon, and a lot of their watches were used in the military by the US. Very interesting. So I really like this watch. I want to get into my collection, and I highly recommend it. I really like it. Anyway, please don't forget to like and subscribe. Add a comment below. Tell me what you like about this watch, what you don't like about this watch. If you found this video interesting, please don't forget to hit that bell icon. It is super helpful for the channel. Also, follow me on Instagram. My Instagram is WatchChrisBlog. There is a link to my Instagram in the description below. Also, I have some links in the description below. Those links are to Amazon. If you click those links and buy anything, it is helpful to supporting the channel. It does not cost you anything extra or interrupt your Prime benefits. Anyway, thank you for logging on, and I will catch you guys in the next video.